Hey, 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 what's going on, America? It is the Ace Michael Show, brought to you today by the makers of Life. Life. It's what's happening. Okay, so that's the commercial. Listen, if you ever want to be on the show, make sure you contact us. Just email us or something and say, hey, man, I want to be on your show, and we'll put you on the show. If you come on the show and be a guest, it's the best way to voice your opinions, conjectures, beliefs, theories, prophecies. You know who you are. All that and more happens on the Ace Michaels Show. Today on the show, my guest is Kimberly Alexander. Kimberly, welcome to the Ace Michaels Show.
Thank you.
Thanks
for having me. I'm good.
Excellent. You look fabulous. You got on a two-tone situation.
I do.
And I've noticed there's been a lot of two-tone fashion going on. Did you notice?
Yeah, like blocking.
Yeah, what is that all about?
I don't know.
Who tells the girls like what they're going to wear this year?
Cruella de Vil.
They definitely, yeah, that's what it is. They all do the same thing at the same time. Interesting.
Yep, and all in nudes or blacks, browns.
That's what I was saying.
Less color. Yeah.
And then they all stop doing the same thing at the same time too,
Yep.
and then go to another thing. It's interesting.
Yep.
Women are from Venus and men are from Mars, I think.
Oh my God, I hate that book, but okay.
So we were talking earlier today about stuff that, you know, when you're a kid, you get in trouble for damn near everything. You know, like being a kid is a weird existence because there's nothing you can do that your parents would be like, oh, you stuck your finger in a light socket. Very inventive. Look at you. Go, boy. They always, everything you do is wrong. They're like, oh, you ate an extra slice of pie. Shame on you. Oh, you put your bike in the garage. Shame on you. You know what I mean? Like everything you do is wrong when you're a kid. But then when you become an adult, all of a sudden you can do anything you want. Anything. You're an adult. And it's a weird thing. Like I think between maybe 17 years old and 19, where all of a sudden the world is allowing you to do whatever you want. And they're like, oh, you want an apartment? Here, fill out some paperwork. You're like, that's all I got to do to get an apartment? Well, you're 18, right? Well, yeah. Okay. We'll just fill out the paperwork.
Right.
Oh, you want a car? You don't have the money? Don't worry about it. Fill out these papers. We'll run your credit, and you drive off the lot today. You're 19. And, you know, and
then they go, how are you going to pay for it?
Yeah. And like, oh, you got a job at Burger King, right? Yeah, no worries. And all this stuff, like it used to be wrong to smoke in school. Remember that smoking in the boys' room? That used to be so wrong. Like you couldn't smoke in a boys' room. Now you can. You can smoke in a boys' room.
You can't even smoke anywhere in California.
Well, not a California
here.
boys' room. Well, yeah, we're not talking about California.
Here,
California is another world,
right.
Kimberly. Hello. You can't do anything in California. But in the rest of the world, it's okay to smoke in a boys' room. I remember when I was a kid, I'm just going to go there. They told us, you know, no, I'm not even going to say it. It's too adult for my show. You guys will have to just know. You'll have to think about it. You have to figure out what I was going to say. But it has to do with a man and a woman. And that's all I'm going to leave it at. That's the only clue you get. Anyway, so Kimberly, tell us about you. So you come from...
Vegas.
Born. Vegas,
right
baby.
On a slot machine.
All right. So you're from Vegas. So you grew up in the land of slot machines and escorts.
Well, I didn't grow up. I came out of the slot machine.
Okay.
Jackpot. Halo crooked.
That's the best. Nobody's ever said that. Yes. I love it. You came out of the slot machine.
And I think my parents looked at me and said, we're going to take her out for a while. Then I came back.
Somebody's calling the pit boss right now. Going,
yes.
Listen, I understand cherries. I understand a lemon. I got a blonde. What does that mean? Do I get something? That's crazy.
Yes.
So growing up in Vegas, I'm not going to bore you with tell us what it's like to drive in Vegas. But I want to say, what would you change about Vegas if you could change one
now
thing?
Or then? Because I sure wish it
general.
was back the way it used to be.
What was the way it used to be? Lobsters everywhere?
Well, yeah, I like that.
Elvis?
You know, maybe.
What, I mean,
I don't
how
know.
far back you going?
There was just like I would say the late 90s, early 2000s even, which I was in my 30s then, but it was so much more fun.
What was happening?
Less violence. Everybody, I mean, honestly, we were always friends up in the club. You know, I did work in a strip club for a while too.
You did?
I did.
You can't just drop that in the middle of the sentence. Okay. You used to work in one
I
as
did.
a waitress, as a
No.
janitor,
I was
as
a
bathroom
dancer.
okay, you
Yep.
were a stripper.
Yes.
Okay, that's what it was. You
Dancer.
used to work no, you was a stripper. There's not so much dancing going on in strip clubs. Listen, I've been to strip clubs expecting to see dancers, and what I saw instead were strippers. There was no dancing going on in a strip club.
Hustling. A lot of hustling.
Lots of hustling.
Lots of hustling.
Yes. And guys, if you've never been to one, which is probably rare these days, but if you've never been to a strip club, guys, when she asks you if you want a private dance, that is not what she's talking about. She is not taking you out and doing some footloose
don't even.
action
If I
with
ask you to sit down and have a conversation with me, no, I'm going to be charging you for that time.
You know what? That is a true, real thing.
Yes.
That is a true,
That's
real
one of our
thing.
little trickies.
I went to a strip club one time, and I was standing in the foyer, just standing, because it was kind of packed. I didn't want to get a table because it was all packed full of people I didn't know. So I was just like standing there in the foyer. And so this girl comes by. I'm sorry, she's not a girl. She's a stripper. The stripper comes by and she starts talking to me.
Dancer.
About no, she was a stripper. And she's standing there with her lingerie and nipples out and the whole nine, you know. And we're just talking, and I don't even know what we're talking about because I'm a guy, you know. So I remember lingerie and nipples. I don't remember what we talked about.
Mm-hmm.
So finally she goes, so would you like a dance? And I said, you know what, sweetheart, I'm good. I'm just got here. Let me just chill for a minute. And she goes, okay, well, would you like to tip me for the time that I've been talking to you? I was blown away. I told the manager, I'm like, hey, man,
manager said,
do you know your girl just asked me to give her money for talking to her? And he goes, well, did you? I'm like, you know what? You play too much. You can't be trusted either. Okay, you one of them. I got to go. But anyway, so yeah, that was very interesting. That was an eye opener for me. So you were dancing.
There should be a guidebook.
Yeah, it really should. When you come, because there's so many
true.
Things you don't know that are going to happen in there. Like they're going to raise prices without you even knowing. Because at the beginning of the night, the girls were like, oh, yeah, you want a lap dance? It's like $20, $30. And then somebody started talking about $300 and $500. And I was like, wait a minute, whoa, these are still the same laps, right?
Mm-hmm.
Ain't nothing
and they're going to run
right?
out of the cheap champagne. And now you've only got these bottles to
look at
choose
you.
from. Yeah.
Oh, is that a hustle?
Oh, yeah. And when you go up and ask the bouncers for the best dancers, those are the dancers that tip them the best.
Damn.
Yeah, there's all kind. We should write a book.
That should be a book. Wow, I didn't know.
There's all kind of little,
was happening.
all kind of little hustles.
Wow.
But now I don't know. We went to the strip club for my 50th birthday.
Nice.
Which was
this
nice.
Is you and your man, or you and
Yes, my husband. I had probably 80 people.
Nice.
But it wasn't the same.
No.
Not as much fun. No.
No, I remember strip clubs. Listen, I was in rock bands like most of my life, so we had a basic ritual: the gig, the strip club.
Yep.
That was it. That's all we basically did. We slept till 2 p.m,
Mm-hmm.
go out, hit the gig, go to strip club. And all of our girlfriends and all the friends of our girlfriends all worked in strip clubs. So that's what it was. But it was a lot of fun.
It was great music. It was not so loud you couldn't have a conversation. That's right.
And the girls used to pick their own music, which I thought was cool because then the girls were dancing to what they liked.
Exactly.
But now it's just all dribble. It's just it's really sad. I think the youth of today is missing out on some real prime lap dance time. You know?
Exactly. And the fun giving the lap dance.
Was
honest.
it fun,
and
though?
I was going to
Tell
college.
The truth, shame the devil.
Yes, no, I was going to college during this time.
What's the
and
fun
I was
in that?
studying. There were some girls that just did it and had so much fun doing it. Some were told by their man to do it, and some just needed the money to do it. There was just 3 different types of women that were there. Yeah.
It seems to me like it would be so embarrassing to give someone a lap dance. A strange person, it would be embarrassing because they're going to get an erection. And then you got this issue, like, oh man, I didn't know you was coming with that, dog.
Yeah,
you know
you try to avoid the men in the sweatpants.
Right. So was that ever like a complicated thing for you, a challenge in your job to be like, oh my gosh, this guy?
No, I had great bouncers, great, I won't say where it was, but they were awesome, and they never allowed any kind of craziness going on.
Right.
So.
Oh, I wouldn't have gone to your club then.
Yeah, no.
I want to go to the crazy club. I don't want to go to no club.
I don't think there was a whole lot of crazy.
I'll be like, no. I paid for crazy. No. I want the crazy bitch.
You
Bro,
want
bring her over
that?
here.
What's the
That's
one
nice.
the nude one down there, the all nude?
There's so many in
so
Vegas.
many.
They're like there's literally 2 on this block. You know that.
Yes,
Yeah.
we recognize this area.
Yeah,
very
you were familiar. When I first got the studio, I was like, I don't think this is gonna work. There's too much. There's an adult bookstore across the street. There's a dispensary. They're literally priming you for your whole night. They're like, well, first you can go look at a little porn over here, and get yourself nice and high and ready for the first strip club, which is totally nude. So you just jump right into that. Then you can go down to the one where the other girls are 18 and over. So that's like the young,
with no
really
alcohol,
impressionable girls with no alcohol. Because you're high and drunk already.
No, wait a minute. Yeah, there's an alcohol store right next door that you can go to.
Exactly.
You know, we all know the game.
So they got you.
Right, they got us.
Always coming and going. Very interesting. So you did that for a while, and I'm always interested in the trajectory of people's life because, believe it or not, for you guys who don't know already, she's not a stripper.
No.
She's a nurse.
I'm a nurse.
So go figure. How does that person become the same person?
I don't know.
Did you ever have any
you grow up. I don't know.
stripper thoughts when you were a nurse? Did you ever go, you're a nurse still, right?
I'm a nurse still.
Did you ever?
And
did you
if
ever
I
have
see
any,
a pole, I'm going to go on it. My husband will tell you. Yes. There's not a pole I still don't love as a nurse. But
do you nurse with like the little short dress and the what they call the thing, the garter belts and the whole nine?
No.
I need a nurse. Do any of your patients ever get fresh with you? That's what
yes.
I call it. I'm old, fresh.
But they do it with every nurse, right? You know,
I never did that with a nurse.
They do, not every man, but every nurse has had some sort of flirtation with.
Really?
Absolutely.
It's just part of the gig?
I would ask. It's part of the gig, and it doesn't matter. No, all shapes, all sizes, all everything. They've all had that one patient that you're like, really
ridiculous. It's like, Mr. Johnson, you have 172 fever right now. Why are you horny?
Maybe you should discharge. Yeah, we need to discharge you from the hospital immediately. You're done. But they all do it, all of them.
I wish I'd have been a nurse now. I'd be like, that's the whole reason why you in the hospital? No.
Yes. And then we have the male nurses and the male CNAs, and they get hit on all the time.
That's
too.
Nuts.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I watched a show one time about a hospital, and this was on, I think it was on HBO. Yeah, it was. It was an HBO show, so it was telling everything. So they were having like little rooms where they would meet up, like doctors and nurses would be like, "Oh, let's go to 53C in about 10 minutes," and then they would go down there and they would fraternize, we'll call it. Was that stuff happening?
That does happen. Yeah, that does happen. Yeah, because you are spending 12 hours of your day in this hospital, and sometimes the overtime and.
What does that have to do?
Meaning that you're with these people all the time. So
that makes you
there
has
been many.
That's just y'all horny. That's an individual horniness.
So it didn't say me.
Yeah, it doesn't have nothing to do with the 12 hours. Oh my God, is it 8 hours? In 4 hours, I'm gonna need somebody to go down on me.
Yeah. And there's Kim on the IV pole dancing.
Hey, Kim, after you administer his meds, you mind coming over here and doing a little anal? Yeah, just a little bit. Come on over. Come on now. That's taking it.
But there is, and it's very common for nurses to end up marrying doctors, and nurses to marry policemen or firefighters because they come in and out of the hospital all the time in the ER. It happens all the time.
Listen, I want to. No, I'm not gonna say it. No, I already did one that I didn't finish. So I'm gonna finish this one. I love cops. Cops are great. Cops, keep doing your thing. Would I ever marry a cop or date a cop? That's pushing it. That's a lot. That's a big ask. But I wanted to ask you this, Kim. From may I call you Kim?
Yes.
Do I have to always say Kimberly?
No, you can call me Kim.
I can call you Kim?
Mm-hmm.
How about just KK girl?
You can call me KK. Call me Alakai. That's how you look me up in the jail. Just kidding.
I know, right?
That's what my dad would say.
All my jail records are under
ALEKI.
So would you say in your observation as a nurse, would you say that more doctors were horny or more nurses were horny?
I'm going to say doctors.
I think so too.
Mm-hmm. And I think the nurses most of the time just shut their mouth and put up with it.
Doctors power trip, huh?
Yeah.
Ain't that something? Because you a damn doctor. You know what I'm saying? Just because you went to 4 more years of school. You got to act like you, come on, dog. You got Mercedes-Benz payments just like the rest of us. But yeah, I would imagine the doctors would be more horny. Wow. That's nuts. So tell me what it's like. This is for me an experience. Tell me what it's like to be a girl and a guy asks you out. Like, I know what it's like to ask out a girl. And I know I've got a couple different ways that I would bring it up and get around to it. But what's some of the ways that guys have come to you and wanted to ask you out? And as a girl, I just want to hear like what did they say? What was the approach?
I've been married so long.
I know, married make you forget shit, huh? You like
forget stuff.
Wow.
I don't know.
There was a time before him, right? Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Let's talk about him. How did he ask you out?
He went through his friend to ask me out.
Of course. Because he's smooth. I met your husband.
He's smooth.
I met your husband. Your husband is he's a handsome guy, okay? But I get the impression, this is just me. I mean no disrespect. But I'm telling you, I get the impression your husband was a player.
Oh,
that's
maybe.
the impression
That's
I get.
possible.
That he was a player.
That's possible.
Yeah. You think so?
Maybe.
I think he was. I think he used some of his playism
On
you.
me.
Oh yeah, he had. You're a beauty queen.
Like a
Come
little
on.
con.
How to get a beauty queen if he wasn't a player? Come on now. So how did you guys
We
meet?
met at his work.
Of course,
actually.
that's a player move.
Yes.
And what kind of work was he doing?
He was
He's like a construction worker.
I know, no, right? He was a finance manager at Toyota.
Oh hell no! You walked into a trap, girl.
No, he ended up having to pay for the car.
He's a finance manager.
He's a finance
He knows
manager.
money. Come on.
Yes.
You don't feel you were set up. Come on.
Well, I think maybe they thought that, but he ended up having to pay for the car at the end.
Paid for what car?
For the car that I bought from them, because now he was my husband. So
oh,
he ended up.
okay.
Yeah, I won.
Okay, so you get
I
okay,
won that.
okay. But you don't.
You got to give that to him.
You don't think it? No, you got it. You have to get it. But you don't think in the beginning that was kind of the angle was like, oh, she's gonna be impressed because I work with money. I got money.
Maybe.
I got an actual apartment. I don't live with my mom.
No. He was a Thunderbird.
What's a
So
Thunderbird?
the airplanes.
Oh, he was an actual pilot.
No, he was the crew chief, but
Oh, okay.
he was on the team.
That's pretty damn prestigious.
Yeah,
too, though.
yes.
Girls would get moist over that. You're
Yes.
a Thunderbird pilot. That's a big freaking
Most
deal.
would, but I grew up around them because my dad was military in the Air Force, so I could have cared less. So he went on and on about his Thunderbird days.
Kimberly, you're telling your tale a little too
Oh,
straight.
stop.
So you're telling me he had the only wiggle room in this dating?
Oh, maybe he looked all this up.
Yeah, you weren't. Come on now, you were a stripper, and you didn't try to work the Thunderbird captain.
No, right, Captain Kirk.
Thank you. I wasn't gonna say his name on the air, but that's your wife outed you, bro. I wasn't. I was perilously close to saying. I was like, no, because he also looks like he can kick some ass too. So I was like, you know what? The last thing I need is a thing with Kirk. You know, like I don't want that thing going on. We're good, bro. So you're saying in this relationship, what you're honestly saying in front of me, God and Jesus and Moses, is that Kirk initiated the thing. He chased you. You didn't chase him.
Yeah, he did.
Okay. No, okay. It happened like that. Okay. So how long did you chase? You guys date for a year before you hooked up, or you date for 6 months?
Yeah, about a year.
So you
Well, he tried to marry me many years, but I said no.
He tried to. How did he try to? He dragged you by your hair, but he couldn't drag you far
He
enough.
asked
What do you
over
mean?
and over again. I kept saying no.
Why do you say no? What? Don't
I
say
don't
no.
know.
Ladies, don't say no. Listen, hold on, Kim. Ladies, do not say no.
No, thank
Don't
you.
say no to nothing. Just say yes. Go along with it. Just it's only going to be a few minutes anyway. Just say heck yeah. Keep it moving. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, okay, I am. Keep it
Guys
moving.
are devastated by no. You know that. Like we hate to hear no.
I know, but you know what I
love.
loved about him is he didn't give up. He just kept.
Well, that's because you kept saying no. If you'd have said yes, he wouldn't have to give up.
He could have walked
Because he would
away.
have achieved his goal. Hallelujah. Wow.
He could have turned around and walked away, but he
Wow.
didn't. He stuck around.
So you guys, okay, so you met.
Uh-huh.
Now, you know damn well you liked him.
Okay.
Right. So you know you want to be with him, really. But you make him jump through some rings of fire to prove what? That he's going to be there? Like he's a gentleman
Yes.
type
You know
thing?
that he's not. I'm just not, somebody to date.
That's crazy. Why? It's just a vagina. Just open it up and have fun.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a party pack. What's the big deal? Like, why gotta make him jump through
Exactly.
so much? Yeah, come on.
You
He's
know,
not
he's
going
young.
for like the damn Lords of the Rings champions, 6 rings of iron type of thing. He's just gonna have some fun. You guys gonna have a little freaky fun in the grotto. What's the big deal? Right?
You're right.
Right? So
Right.
you could have like let him get a little closer, a little faster. But you didn't.
I probably could have. Yes.
Okay, so you guys
But he was my third husband, so I had to count.
Oh, see, now we're
Yeah,
talking real
so
talk. Okay.
we needed a
uh-huh.
little time there.
And then he was married before?
Mhm.
Now,
Yeah.
how many wives did he have before you?
I'm number 2.
You're number 2.
Mhm.
But listen, let me tell you girls something too. This is just for the girls. Kimberly, hold on. You can chime in if you want to, but this is for the girls. Wife number 2, that's really wife number 1.
Oh, thank you.
Because number 1 was a mistake. Number 1 didn't work.
That was practice.
When he decided to go number 2, well, that sounds terrible.
Sounds terrible.
That sounds pretty bad. But when he decided to go get married again, he'd already learned what he shouldn't do. So you got the best of him.
Okay, good.
You got the best husband when you get number 2, because he's going to do all the stuff with you that he never thought he could do with her. He never wanted to do with her. He never was willing to do with her. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
That's guy talk. That's guy 101. If he and I were talking right now, he'd tell me the same thing. Like, you know, you right on the point, babe. There, with that thing, man. That's real talk, brother. And then we would bump fists.
Yeah.
We'd be bonded at that point.
Have a cigar.
Okay. So I'm always interested in the trajectory of relationships. So you guys, you like each other. You dated for a while. Now you're serious. You're really dating.
Yes.
And then when do you have sex after starting dating? Like, is that right away, or do you
No.
still pull another year out
It
of
wasn't
him?
a year. I would say a few weeks.
No, that's too
Yeah.
long. But you knew you were attracted to him.
Yeah.
Come
Yeah.
on.
I
See,
I
that's
don't
crazy.
know. I think, it was a different world. I was party central too then. I don't know.
That's nuts.
I don't, it's been too long, 20 years. I can't remember.
You
You're bringing
women
all
are
these memories
waiting
back.
Too long to hook up with guys that you know you want to be with. That doesn't make any sense.
You know, that's probably true.
And he's a good look. I wish I had a photo.
He's
He's
beautiful.
a good looking guy.
Yes, he's beautiful.
He looks kind of like that actor that's on that show, ladies. So,
I
so
call
you know.
him James Bond, but the Daniel Craig one.
No.
He's like,
Daniel Craig is not a good looking guy to me. He's not no Daniel. No, he's
my
way
youngest
better
son,
looking.
our son together, always when he was little would go, "That's my dad up there."
No.
He swears it's his dad.
You know, he's got a little bit of a vibe. I mean, a little bit of a vibe
Gavin
of
Newsom.
like, Gavin Newsom. I could see that. I could totally see Gavin Newsom and Alan Arca or Alan, the one that was on MASH.
Oh yeah,
He
okay.
got a little bit of that going on. I could see that. And if you go contemporary, and I don't want you to get excited, Kim. I'm just saying this. Don't go do him tonight just because I said this. Christian Bale.
Oh yeah,
Batman.
okay, yes, okay.
Batman,
in the face,
ladies.
yeah.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
talking. Kim's working with Batman. Okay, and she's waiting a year to go out with Batman. Go figure.
I waited a year to marry him.
Yeah, but okay.
Actually 3.
So what did you got? Did you guys?
No, it was a year. It was
If
a
it's
year.
not too forward of me to ask, did you guys, when you were in that year, did you kiss each other? Like
Oh
with
yeah,
tongue?
no, yeah. We were married in a year.
Okay, so
Yeah.
but you were dating.
Yeah,
like you
we were
You were doing the
dating.
hippity dippy, and you were
I
having
I
like a
lived
whole
with
thing.
him for a while before
Okay,
we got married.
But you were staying over
Oh yeah,
because you didn't let her move in with you, did you?
yeah.
Don't do that. Oh man, you guys are making all kinds of dating errors.
We
Why
we
did you
probably
let her
did.
move in with you? Are you crazy?
We
You can't
probably
kick her out.
did.
You can't kick her out when she moves in. You gotta marry her.
I know.
Yay. I got to talk to him in private
know.
about. Well, it's too late now. You
One
guys
of our
already hooked
first
up.
dates, I have to tell you, we're out. He likes to go to bed early. He leaves me in another man's. He's like, "You need to take care of her," and goes home to sleep.
No, that's a pimp move. That was a pimp
Oh, is
move
that
right
a
there.
pimp
Hell
move?
yeah, brother.
Oh.
That's how you know you confident. He confident
I got
about his
conned.
thing. He's like, yeah, baby. Go ahead and take care of her, dog. I'm going to go over here and get me some rest for what I got to do tomorrow. Yeah, I get that. I totally get that. That's a good move on his part. Because he had a beauty queen. You know what I'm saying? Like, you girls, you're pampered and you want all kinds of stuff. He did the right thing. He got to let you know, like, no, baby, we rough riding. You ain't, you know? You got to be
Not
down.
that easy, huh?
Got to be down. Yeah, he had to make sure you were legit. I get that. So you guys happily married. That's good.
Yes.
That's awesome. And you have some children, too?
We do. We have 4.
That's nuts.
One his, 2 mine. When ours together, but they're really all ours together.
Do you ever talk to your kids about your wildlife?
Oh yeah.
You do? No, you're kidding. You don't, do
Yeah.
you?
Well, my daughter and I still go out and we go
That's
karaokeing and that was just 2 weekends ago. We still go
Well,
out.
karaoke, that's not wild.
No, yeah, we
but
go.
I mean your wildlife. You ever talk to them about
Oh
that?
yeah.
That's nuts.
Yeah.
My mom told me like the most bullshit story about her life is she goes, okay, somehow she managed to meet this man who was married, my father. Somehow she met this man. She just innocently was sleeping with this married man and got pregnant, and she wasn't a wild girl at all. 17 years old, hanging out with a married businessman and having sexual relations, you know. But she told me she tiptoed around all of the facts so much. And then what gave her away was, remember, now we have our phones and we have pictures on our phones. So it's different than we used to have a family album.
Right.
The photo album told the whole story. So one day I was looking at the photo album and I was like, wait a minute. That's my mom at 17 smoking a joint with her friends, her girlfriends, and her one friend that deviously looks like a girl. And they look high as hell in this picture. They've been partying. And this is the late 60s. So they probably were partying on the real drugs back in the real day, listening to the real Jimi Hendrix record on the 8-track. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was crazy. So she danced around all of those little facts and just made it sound like a Disney story. Like, oh, and one day he came into my life and you were born and my life was changed forever. So, interesting. Okay, so time is never on our side. I would love to hear more about your salacious stories. Something about nursing, too. But we're going to run out of time. How do we follow you if we want to be your friend on the social media? We want to stalk you.
Oh, heavens. I would probably go under my Instagram is Aleki, Aleki.
And then what is the Alec? What is that all about?
Oh, because my dad used to say when I need to find you if you're in jail, I'm going to look you up Aleki, literally. No, I've never been in jail, I promise. But
you talk about planting a seed. Wow. If you're ever in jail. That's
yes.
funny.
And then just Facebook, Kimberly Alexander.
And that's what's up. And so you do put on beauty pageants and whatnot. You got one coming up?
We do. We have one coming in August.
I want to go to it.
Yes, it's actually on a cruise.
It's on a cruise
Miami
too?
to the Virgin Islands. Yes,
that sounds
August
like
26th.
some trouble is going to happen. Wow.
Yep. And my husband's competing as well, so
that's nuts.
It'll be fun.
So guys can compete.
Guys
Are you
can
still looking
compete.
for people?
Absolutely, they can come. Yep.
So we can put it out on the air, like,
Yep.
hey, if you want to be in this beauty pageant, how old you got to be?
You can be any age. Well, for this one, it's
'Cause you gotta be over
18.
21.
It's 18 and over. Yeah, you can be.
You can go on the cruise at 18. Don't you have to be
You
21 because
can.
of alcohol?
No, they don't really promote alcohol on this cruise pageants. You know, we don't really. Drink
Oh,
and stuff
hell
like that.
no. I'm sorry. Thank you for stopping by. Listen, we appreciate you. There now.
Just
There's
meet me in the strip
door.
club, right?
Are you serious? No alcohol on the cruise?
They'll have it, but like when you're competing, you know, you are supposed to be a positive influence. This is true.
Who wants to be locked on a boat with a bunch of strangers in the middle of the damn ocean without a stiff ass drink? That's nuts right there. Ah, look at you. There she goes. That's it. That's the girl I'm looking for. There it is. Hey, we're out of time for the show, man. Kimberly Alexander has been a great joy to be on my show today. Please follow her, like, share, subscribe. And you know what I say about people. You know, if you find someone that's trying to do something right, please encourage that. You got to get behind that because that's rare to find. And the other thing I say at the end of every show, and I still mean it to this day, live the life you love the life you live. Thank you.